Welcome to Campaholics.
I'm Christy.
I'm Mandy.
And I'd rather be camping.
Welcome back to our meeting, everybody. Today we have a special guest camper with us.
That's right. We have Miss Kelly.
Hello. Sister. Where have you come from, Miss Kelly?
Oh, I came from down under. No, I just flew in from Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas.
Awesome. So yeah, just so you know, our voices may be a little raspy because we had an eventful evening together.
And an eventful morning as well. For some of us.
Christy.
Yeah, so you are a campaholic for how long?
I've been camping all my life, just like you.
That's right. We did grow up camping, and how's that been for you?
What's up for you? You survived. I mean, both of you made it.
It was great. I think it formed us in many different ways.
Yeah, we've definitely had our moments together. I want to talk about the title of this meeting, Plastic Boot. Can you give us a little context to that?
Yes, please.
Plastic boot. That was probably
in a
about
plastic boot.
14 years ago.
When you had your bunion removed?
I had a surgery and I went camping. And my cousin Brian made fun of me when we were up there. And he would always just say, "Here comes Kelly in the plastic boot, the plastic boot." I had to cover my boot. I had a boot on my foot. And I had to cover it with a plastic bag because that was like the most convenient way to keep it from getting dirty.
But like, what kind of plastic bag? Like you like
a grocery plastic bag. Like the best way to recycle.
So like the loudest ones ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every time I would get out of my tent or whatever, you could hear.
Oh, Kelly's awake. We can hear the grocery bag.
Yeah.
Well, she wouldn't get lost, right? We'd be able to find you.
Right.
Is that the reason why you ended up going to the bathroom in the gallon jug in the tent? Because you didn't want to put the plastic bag on?
I wanted I wanted the gallon jug in my tent because I didn't want to go outside and get eaten by a bear.
Okay, that's a good reason.
You didn't even want to go outside when you were little.
I know.
Nobody wants to get up at 2:30 a.m. and go outside of their tent.
No,
I
I
don't
really
know what they're
don't.
going to encounter.
It's dark. It's scary.
Yeah.
But it's campy.
That's
right.
like the fun part, though.
And you keep coming back.
And nothing ever happened.
It's like all this hype, and then
It's just
nothing happens.
Probably like a little squirrel or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we're lucky.
Oh, speaking of squirrels, do you remember the squirrel from hell that tortured our dad?
The squirrel from hell.
One year we went camping and my dad had a tent trailer and we parked underneath one of the trees or whatever. And we would wake up every morning to this. This squirrel was up in the tree throwing pine cones down at the ceiling of the tent trailer. And we're like, what the heck?
And I think as the camp trip went on, it purposely did this to annoy our
It
dad.
was on
He's targeting
purpose.
you. Like, get out of that tree.
He was like, I gotta get the BB gun. And every time I feel like he'd get out there, get ready, it was like gone. And then as soon as he put like the
It comes
BB gun away or went away, he started just like throwing those pine cones down.
That's hilarious.
It was pretty funny.
It was horrible because you could hear it all the time.
I know. So when you were little, Kelly, I heard, well, I know, but Christy has heard, caterpillars. How did those affect you?
Till this day, if I see a caterpillar, I will not touch it. I will not pick it up. I will not do anything with it. I picked one up when I was little and I got bumps all over my hands. It was like the weirdest thing.
You were like allergic to them.
How can you be allergic to
A caterpillar.
a caterpillar?
I don't know. It must have like maybe poked me or something.
It's those fuzzy little cute yellow black ones that
They're
you're like,
not cute.
They're not
No.
cute.
Yeah. And as time went on, my mom was like, don't let Kelly pick up the caterpillar. She's going to get a rash.
Not only caterpillars, but wildflowers. I would get like rashes or
Well, I mean,
allergic reactions.
that's good because you're technically not supposed to pick those.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, as we talked about in one of our previous meetings, when I picked one, and the park ranger got very upset with me about it. So, so I guess it's a good thing if you're allergic to it. But hey, you keep camping, whether you get bumps or allergic reactions. You just put yourself right back out there.
Plastic boots,
Nothing
doesn't
stopped
matter.
You fall off the horse, you get back on.
Get bunion surgery, you back out there.
You get bumps, you get them again. Oh man, wasn't there a story when, with the bee sting, and Kaylee got stung by a bee? Oh gosh,
that was with Dad.
Yeah.
You can imagine Dad and Kaylee together with a crisis.
How old was Kaylee?
She must have been like 8, 10,
yeah.
maybe.
Oh my goodness.
The bee was stuck in her shirt.
Oh gosh.
Oh my
And
gosh.
she's like, something just stung me. Like,
No.
freaking out. And like, Dad's just like, no, you're fine. No.
Oh my
And then
goodness.
finally it flew out of her shirt and it was just definitely a bee sting.
First encounter. Dang.
She wasn't allergic, was she?
No,
Oh,
thank
gosh.
God.
That's not how you want to find out, though.
No.
Miles and miles away from a hospital.
Exactly. Oh man, when we were little, we used to go visit that. Well, I always called it a lake, probably because I was small and it looked huge.
It's
but,
just like a pond.
yeah. But after it rained, we'd like go and
Oh, there was a huge pond.
tadpoles.
We would like do
Yeah.
the rock, the skipping the rocks,
Uh-huh.
finding the frogs,
So many fun things.
looking at the tadpoles.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, going through all the bugs and I don't know, good and fun memories all mixed in
Did you
between.
guys like did you guys
Horny toads.
They actually spit blood out of their eyes.
gross?
Yeah.
That's
It is a true
disgusting.
thing.
Yeah. But we would always try to catch them.
And then what? Like have it spit eye blood at each other?
I don't know.
It was like their line of defense. But we didn't care. Every time we saw a horny toad, we were just like so infatuated with it. We were just like,
Those poor things.
I wish I had that line of defense. Somebody coming at me and I'm like, boom, boom, get away. Like,
Oh, especially yesterday.
yeah.
but, oh, goodness.
Usually we get pulled over by the cops and you have to do a drug.
Okay. I know this is a camping podcast, but let's just recap last night a little bit. We have to talk about this.
I can still taste
I mean,
it.
we might be reliving this when we go camping next time. So.
No, please not.
I mean,
We basically were product testers for the police department and getting our Alco tested and doing our PBT tests.
Yeah. So
and following the pen.
yeah, following the pen like 30,000 times.
It's an experience I will never forget, but
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't
No,
volunteer to
see,
do it.
like you get
Right.
free alcohol and free food, so you're like, yeah, this is gonna be great. I should do this all the time. And now today, I'm like, I'm never doing that.
Yeah. Just give me the walk test.
yeah. I'll say my alphabet backwards, whatever you want.
Anyways, our eyes are good thing you can't see our eyes because they're probably either beet red or looking halfway one way.
Feels like
and
there's sand in
cross-eyed.
them.
Dizzy.
But I mean, what I'm saying is, if we were camping, it'd be all the better right now. So.
Yeah, because we would be by a fire.
Yeah.
Did you guys like pick on each other a lot when your kids like out camping? Did you like scare the shit out of each other?
I mean, other than
We
getting
would
shot by
mostly pick on
BB
Mandy.
gun, I was the youngest for like 8 years, and so I was the baby. So I always got picked
We
on.
picked on you even after Joseph came.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
What was the worst or best? I guess
I would say the BB gun for sure was the worst. Getting shoot by the BB gun, but also like we always fought over where we would sleep because we had such a large family. We had a tent, and then we had a camper on our dad's truck, and so we all wanted to sleep in the camper because you kind of got your own space.
sure.
So that was probably our biggest argument, I would say, at least that I remember. But one of the big things I do remember is now you have all this fancy equipment. You have canopies and trailers and all this stuff. When we were camping, it was a tarp. You
Right.
put your tarp up, and in the center of your tarp was a pole.
I know.
And anytime the wind blew, it was grab the
it was-
pole. Somebody grab the pole.
I remember when it would like storm or whatever, and we were like at one site. then we would want to go like play with our cousins or something on the other site, and so we'd like run as fast as we could through the rain just to get through the rain, and then it would just be like all huddled underneath one.
Especially if it was hailing. Like that was our defense, is being underneath the tarp. But I mean, we had a pretty big tarp, but it was always like very strategic, finding 4 great trees.
Well,
in,
yeah.
You know, you can't have 3 because then your tarp is like half hung.
Almost had to be like almost square, maybe a little rectangular.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. And then if you're the unlucky one, like in the morning after it rained and you don't realize that the tarp is full of water and it accidentally decides to empty at that moment, you're probably going to get wet. Oh, man. Yeah.
I remember waking up in the mornings and everybody, like the night before, everybody would be talking about going on fishing and like, oh yeah, we're going to get to go fishing tomorrow. And then we wake up and like everybody would be gone and we're like, they already left without us.
Because our dad and our uncle would be like, if you want to go fishing, you got to get up when it gets light out.
They had this thing called a boat, but I don't even know if it was a boat. It's like a small canoe. And like all the boys would get to go and the girls would never get to go. And we would wake up and they'd all be already gone.
Yeah, and if you were the youngest, you got to wear the life vest, but
there's only one life vest.
You may not have one.
I love it.
No. It was a whole day event because we would just park at set up and park out at the lake and set everything up, and you either got to go on the boat or you didn't, and you laid and slept.
We mostly didn't.
I know. We mostly caught crawdads.
I would like rock hop. There was these big flat rocks, and you could just like go from rock to rock.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And I have a lake story with Mandy.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking
Which
about.
one? I want to hear.
Well, I was trying to catch fish, but then all of a sudden, like, maybe she caught a crawdad, and it just, like, flung behind her, and she was walking, and it, like, attacked her.
My leg got caught up in the fishing line, and apparently there was a crawdad attached to it, and I thought it was, like, chasing me.
Oh, my God.
And I was probably, like, 4 or 5, and I was just screaming, like, it won't get away from me. It was, like... It was traumatizing.
We weren't camping, but I have one story kind of like that with my sister and I when we were really little and we were out fishing. I don't know if it was my pool or the little boys we were with. It doesn't really matter, but at some extent, she's walking behind us while we're casting, right? So you go behind you and then forwards. She gets hooked in the eyebrow with the fish hook, but the worst part, it's still got a live worm on it. It's like wriggling right in front of her eye.
Oh my goodness. I would definitely be traumatized from that.
She still is. She's pretty upset.
So we have a similar story with our brothers. Our one brother was casting and hooked our other brother in the cheek. And the hook got stuck through his whole cheek.
Oh my God.
So it was like, cut the line, get him in the Suburban. We all had to go down to the fish store or the little camp store. And I think they had to pull it like straight through because when you try to go back, it wouldn't.
And they couldn't just like cut it, right? Oh my God.
It was already in. It wasn't going back.
I didn't know you were getting a free piercing today, did you?
No.
Yeah. Every time I've been fishing ever since, I'm like, is anybody behind me?
I know. Always check when you're casting.
Yeah, I mean, like we yell 4 when we're golfing, so what is it for fishing?
Right.
There should be something.
Oh my gosh. Oh dear. And there was always this one fish when we'd go fishing, and my brother would always be like,
one.
yeah, it was his name was Mambo, and it was like, we gotta get Mambo today. It was like the biggest fish out there. Like everybody's seen him jump, everybody's felt him on the line, but nobody's reeled him in.
It's like you see this in TV shows.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It was all about him.
You guys never caught him?
I don't know.
think
My
so.
brother may have. I'm not sure.
They caught him once and he got away.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Does he have proof?
No proof.
There was one time I was fishing with my dad, and I never liked eating the fish, but I liked catching the fish. But we were out there for hours, and we got the power bait and all the cool stuff, the flies and everything, and we were catching nothing. And then finally this like bumblebee died right next to us on the rock. And I'm like, Dad, let's put the bumblebee on the hook. As soon as we threw the line out, we got a fish like within seconds. I was like, dang, they really do like the real stuff.
Yeah, there's no bait like real bait.
Oh, man.
I've heard people fish with some pretty weird things. Like I hear catfish have a thing for hot dogs.
What? Oh my goodness.
It's funny talking to people like that. They go fishing all the time. They have like all their own little like tricks.
Yeah. Like some people don't even use any bait.
I wouldn't. I would use a cooler, some ice, and some beer. I'll go out there. I'll catch a buzz, dude. I'll just pretend like, oh yeah, I was busy fishing all
Every
day.
time the wind blew, I'm like, we got one, we got one. No, Kelly, there's no fish on the line.
Kirsty's like, yeah, I had to do some scaling my cooler.
Someone's got to do it, you guys.
Oh, thank you for doing that for us. Man. Oh, man. Oh, there's so many funny things that we could talk about. What's something else that we remember growing up camping?
Oh, there's a lot.
What about traditions? Did you guys have like a camp tradition? Like every time you went out, you had to do something?
Well, I know my dad, every time he picked a campsite, especially if we were in like one of those little loops or whatever where there were going to be other campers, it was like, we have to find a campsite on the outer side of the loop. Because if he was going to the bathroom, he wanted to be able to like go without having to use the, outhouse because it was on the outskirts of the forest. So that was a really strategic move for setting up our camp.
I just remember waking up in the mornings and like the only thing on my mind was to set up a campfire again.
Yeah.
Like, we would have these like roaring campfires at night. And then all I wanted to do was like just get it started again and just have that flame. And then everybody would be like, why are you having a fire in the morning?
I know.
I like fires in the morning. As long as it's not hot,
I want
let's
the
go.
fire all day long.
Yeah, you can't have it at home, so let's have it.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe you want to cook your breakfast on it.
Oh, cooking hot dogs and marshmallows.
Yeah.
You can't cook them an open flame. It has to be like in the coals, like perfect rotation.
There's an art.
I know. There's a lot of people that like burnt marshmallows.
That's me.
No, it takes specialty. It takes time. Like a half an hour, just
exactly. I don't have that kind of patience. So no, thank you.
I'm kind of with Chrissy on that. I don't mind like the burnt layer. Whoa, I just got the evil eye. But I understand if you want a fully like puffed marshmallow, there is a little bit of a patience factor to it.
But you're right, Kelly.
And a hot dog.
It's all about rotation in the coals, like no flames.
Like scoot over the flames.
Yeah.
Get out the hot coals.
I would say the hot dog for sure. I want mine to like almost double inside.
It just like sizzles when you're turning it. It's like dripping sweat.
Oh my god, I'm getting hungry now. Never thought a hot dog would do that to me.
You know what kind of sounds good on the fire is a corn dog.
No.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'll try it.
Okay.
Down to try.
I think you should still put your Rolo inside a marshmallow and try that.
I do want to try that.
Yeah.
You just shove it in there?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is just something we thought of the last trip, but we haven't experienced it yet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do with. What were some of the? Oh, this is something I remember growing up. Like we had a lot of people in our family, and I understand that paper products and stuff can get expensive with a lot of people. So my mom, her thing was, you set up the wash station. Oh. It was rinse, rinse, wash, rinse, rinse, wash, rinse, and I was always like, oh, we got to do dishes, camping. So of course now I'm like. It's all about the paper products. Just throw it in and burn it. But, I mean, I understand why she did it. But, again, it was like that was a thing, a tradition, I guess.
We used real tools.
I know. We actually did hard work.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I kind of use both.
Yeah.
I do think it's environmentally friendly to not use paper products all the time.
But the thing I hated to go to the tubs of water and there would be like 7 bees like just swarming in the water and you're just like, what am I supposed to do now?
Wash quick.
I know. I mean, water was scarce. It still is. I mean, you have to kind of be conservative, and that's one reason why we did wipey baths. It was like, all
it
right,
would be
next
like
kid, let's
7:30 p.m. getting ready to go night.
Yeah. My mom would be
Get
like,
the wipies out.
who's next? My mom would just, we were
There's
like
a line.
we were like a little army, like going in and out of the tent for these wipey baths.
I think I just did my feet and that was it.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, we camped for like 2 weeks straight, so I understand we had to have some sort of way to get clean, but it felt so good, though, to put the wipies between your toes after they're like dirty and caked in all this dust.
To crawl in your sleeping bag, you felt like you just took a nice warm bath.
When really there's like a pile of dirt at the bottom of your bag. Oh, man. Yeah.
Just to get out 5 hours later to go pee.
Exactly.
Nobody will go with you.
I know. All these people and nobody wanted to help anyone.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, dang. The memories. But yeah. Oh yeah, remember our cousin's dog that would come and find us? It was like a game.
We would go to a huge field.
Yeah.
It would be like a huge open field, and everybody would go hide behind a tree. Mm-hmm. And Aunt Virgie would have Sandy on a leash, and she'd let her go, and she'd go find him. Go find him. And she'd find every single one of us. I think there was like 8 of us.
Yeah.
She'd find every one of us behind a pine tree.
That's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
What kind of dog was it?
She was like some kind of doodle.
She was like a cocker
No,
spaniel.
she had
I don't know. She was white.
She was white.
Curly hair. About yay high.
What was her name again?
And she barks.
Sandy.
Oh.
She was a good dog.
Sandy, because her color was kind of sandy.
Okay.
It was like sandy white, off-white.
But she would find us.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And we would play wiffle ball out there.
Yep. We did all the games. It was fun. We did the BB gun shooting. We did the wiffle ball.
We saw some kids last time we went, Kelly. There was kids out there on like a rope swing. They like brought one with and tied it up in a tree. And I was
the
like,
tightrope. Yeah.
We never had a rope swing. We did the horsey trees.
Yeah, horsey trees.
because a horsey
tree. I haven't introduced you to horsey trees yet.
I can't say
It's a tree that's limped over, and everybody gets on it, and you just
ride it like
horsey
a horsey.
Ride it.
Okay. October trip we're doing horsey trees. But there's kind of like you gotta look for the right
Find a certain tree.
If you don't, that horsey tree's either breaking and people are going down.
Yeah, we don't.
Or
want
you're
that.
not going anywhere.
We've found a few good horsey
Yeah.
trees in our day.
Yeah, those are fun.
Horsey tree.
I know.
It's got to be
I know.
a strong trunk with like a.
It's like
just
bang.
give it a limb.
And if it was really good, you could get at least 3 or 4 kids on it at once, and then the adult just takes
3 or 4. I think we had like 5 or 6 at least.
A lot. It's fun.
Well, then somebody gets on the very end and they like
Yeah.
jump off, and you go.
So when we'd go on hikes, we would like all point out, "There's a horsey tree. There's a horsey tree." This was our entertainment growing up. Oh man.
I mean, if you guys are out there for weeks at a time, you got to do something. Right?
Yeah.
we would sit by the fire like during the day and like whittle sticks with.
Pocket
Dad, let me
knife.
borrow your pocket knife. I want to whittle the stick.
Oh man! And then our brother almost whacked his finger off with the hatchet.
Oh my god.
That was big.
I
big.
don't clearly remember the
Yeah.
situation, but I think he was chopping firewood with a hatchet, and he nicked his finger.
And it was like
my
bad.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, that's no good. Especially when you're out in the middle of nowhere and there's like non-emergency services nearby.
Exactly. Like, what do
have
you?
just a first aid kit.
Yeah.
Band-Aids and Neosporin.
Yeah. Get some sap. Close that wound up. I mean,
Rub
what are
some
you
dirt
gonna
in
do?
it. It's fine.
oh. Dang. Oh, what else we got? I mean, what's that one last trip we went on, you bunked in our trailer and you woke up in the middle of the night. I'm like, what are you doing? And you were looking out the window and raccoons were outside eating Ranger's dog food.
Yeah.
You were like, what's that noise?
Do they could like walk on their like 2 feet.
They
and they're
were-
like the whole
I don't know.
package.
Yeah, they were just like little mysterious little guys, and
You gotta keep your food closed at
Yeah.
night.
Dude,
Like,
those-
we had squirrels when we were little. My mom would make these homemade cookies.
wait, that just sounds funny. We had squirrels.
No, my mom would make homemade cookies every time we went, and we had this plastic Tupperware.
Yeah.
And one of the squirrels ate through the Tupperware, but we kept the Tupperware for all these years. I think even my mom still has it to this day. There's like a little nibble on the side.
Yeah, that was a tradition for sure. Is my mom would always make several batches of homemade chocolate chip cookies. Even when we went on like church trips and stuff, everybody started asking like, "Did your mom make the cookies?"
Yeah, but the Tupperware was so easy to open.
I know.
It was like that clear.
Yes. There was something about that. It was super soothing. But yeah, when we were, if there were several vans, like for the church camp that we were going to, everyone's like, I want to be in Kelly or Mandy's van because they have the chocolate chip cookies.
Right.
Oh, thanks, Mom, for making us popular.
Right.
It's all about the chocolate chip cookies. Oh.
But even that, after, like, when we got older, we would always prep our
Yeah.
meals. Like,
Yeah.
it was so much easier to cut it up at home
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and on a table and
Yeah.
camping.
Cut it up, prepare what you can, because once you're up there, just relax and have fun.
It
Yeah.
was relaxing.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh, man. So, yeah, guys, thanks for joining.
They just look at each other and they start laughing.
We can't help it.
Yeah, it's been a long day, but
Oh, we have a. When is your next camping trip, Kelly? You're gonna go with us soon?
I hope so.
I know.
I really want
It's
you
hard.
to. I've never
Like
been
every
camping
like
with you.
so I moved to Arkansas 3 years
Yeah.
ago, and it's like every time like I'm just driving down the roads in Arkansas, it's just like this reminds me so much of camping because
Yeah,
everything's like trees there,
Yeah.
trails there,
that sounds nice.
we should go camping
and
in
it's just
Arkansas.
like
Yes,
right.
we need to
It's
take-
not the same though.
Yeah.
Camping up north in Arizona is so different than Arkansas.
Yeah, and I do have to
Arkansas, like we're just like where they live.
Yeah.
They just live in the trees.
No, but I do have to say, as I've gotten older, I've appreciated Arizona more. When I was little, I was like, why do I live in the desert? But, you know, the camping here is great. I
Yeah.
mean, you can drive a couple hours north and you're in the trees and get out of the heat.
A
so
lot of people don't know that.
they
though.
don't. They think it's just Wild West, like cowboys and cactus, and
Tumbleweeds and
Indians. Yeah, tumbleweeds, and that's it. And you know what? For most of those people, keep that thought because we
stay
don't
there.
need too many people crowding our campsites.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
they
mean-
can
I
get
mean-
crowded.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right. Well, I'm so happy we had Kelly with us. We learned some really good stories.
Yes,
Yeah.
anytime.
And we're always looking for new guests. So if you're interested, reach out. We have an
Yeah.
email, I'd rather be camping with the K @gmail.com,
That's right.
or our Instagram.
Hit them up.
This could be you.
This could be you. All right.
Oh.
Until next
Okay.
time.
Peace out.
Bye. See you.